21.4% in the financial year 2016-2017 to 20.3% in the financial year 2029-2020, and I'm quoting from the UNHS, particularly in 2019 to 2020. In particular, the incidence of income poverty increased during the COVID-19 pandemic from 19% pre-pandemic to 22% during the pandemic. The effective implementation of the parish development model, as well as other government affirmative action interventions, are expected to contribute to the narrowing of the poverty gaps further going forward. The surge in international commodity prices resulted in significant inflationary pressure across various sectors, but there has been a recent decline, particularly in the energy and food prices. In July 2022, inflation stood at 7.9% and rapidly climbed to the double digits in January 2023. However, it has gradually decreased since then, dropping to 8.0% in April 2023. These inflationary trends stemmed from disruptions in the global supply chains resulting from geopolitical tensions. As these disruptions begin to unwind, inflationary pressures have also started to ease. This manifesto builds on the previous achievements and seeks to address the unfinished business, national security and the political stability are paramount. The Nrm Manifesto is anchored on 5 broad objectives, just as a reminder: broadening the economic base, creating an integrated and self-sustaining economy based on an import substitution and export-oriented growth, establishing a monetized and formalized economy, achieving the lower middle income status, and generating productive jobs. These are therefore aligned with NDP 3 as reviewed, and the progress is presented here below. In summary, some of these were highlighted by my Minister for Planning, who is also still here. Broadening the economic base. The NRM government aimed to provide and create economic opportunities to all regions in the country to be able to achieve this objective. To date, the agricultural landscape has since significantly improved, with the sector registering steady growth between 2% compared to 1% and 2% in the decade before. In particular, the sector, including forestry and fishing growth improved from 0.9% in the financial year 2010-2011 to 4.3% in the financial year 2021-2022. Given the industrialization agenda under NDP 3, it was assumed that the excess power generated would be consumed by new large industrial enterprises. While generation capacity has substantially increased, this has not translated into lowering the cost of power, especially the small and mid-sized industrial users. Expediting the development of the industrial parks in tandem with attracting investors to provide bulk consumption of energy should therefore be prioritized. To reduce the cost of power to less than the US $5 per kWh, Annex 1, I've attached some of these annexes, should continue to be vigorously pursued as a key sector for the country's industrialization. Number 2, creating an integrated and self-sustaining economy based on import substitution and export-oriented growth. The import substitution strategy is a worthwhile strategy that government should continue pursuing vigorously. There is room to implement import substitution if government strategically puts more effort, especially in the following products: petroleum products by expediting the refinery, chemical products by investing in the petrochemical ecosystem, vegetable oil products, pharmaceuticals, paper products, and base metals and other products. Continental Free Trade Area by boosting intra-Africa exports, increasing manufacturing exports, job creation, and enhancing incomes, as well as enhancing transport and logistics services in the region. The Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives is soon launching Uganda's strategy rallying the private sector to reap the benefits of the continental market. To benefit from the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, several challenges must be addressed, including reducing the high cost of doing business due to factors such as high regulatory burden and increased import competition, meeting the required standards set by import countries, addressing non-tariff barriers to trade, including political barriers, enhancing economic complementarity through diversification of exports and production. 3, establishing a monetized and formalized economy. The NRM government aimed to graduate households from the informal to subsistent levels into the commercial economy. The proportion of the households depending on subsistence agriculture is the 41.8% in the financial year 2009-2010, 39% in 2019-2020. And these are household survey data. A household's main source of earnings usually indicates its consumption capacity. The government's focus has been to move the population to the modern economy through the parish development model as a special purpose vehicle. 4, achieving a lower middle income status. Uganda is firmly on the path to middle income status. Uganda's income per capita increased from $992 in the financial year 2020-21 to $1,055 in the financial year 2021-22 in real terms, exceeding the NDP3 target of $1,046. This implies that there is a high likelihood of attaining the target of $1,198 by the financial year 2024-2025. This improvement was partly attributed to increased government targeted expenditure to support the economic recovery, to offset the impact of the shocks such as COVID-19. As a result, service and industry sectors, which contribute the most of GDP, that is 41.6% and 26.8%, and offer the highest share of the formal employment, registered higher growth rates, signifying our economic recovery. Number 5, generating productive jobs. Despite the share of the national labor force employed less subsistent improving from 49.4% in 2020 to 2021 to 52% in the financial year 2021-22. The share of the working population and the youth unemployment rates continue to be below the NDP3 targets of 9.7%. As a result, the number of new jobs increased from 258 to 286 in the financial year 2020-21 to 345.39 in the financial year 2021-22, and is projected to reach 399.83 if the recent growth trajectories are not revised downwards. However, it is below the target of 1,040,000 jobs. This indicates a positive job recovery between the first and the second years of the NDP3. There is growing externalization of labor, albeit many casual laborers. About 98% of the migrant workers of our country are employed as casual laborers, with only 0.2% holding professional jobs and 1.8% working in semi-professional placements, mainly in the Middle East. The government has to put in place different policies through the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to enforce the bilateral agreements regarding the outsourcing of labour in our country, Uganda. And now let me conclude. The economic outlook is positive, with the domestic economy showing resilience. National Planning Authority forecasts a growth rate of about 5.5% from the financial year 2022-2023 and 6.0% in the financial year 2023-2024 and beyond. Several factors will drive this growth, including investments in the oil sector, recovery of the services sector, and the rollout and implementation of the parish development model. However, there are other significant risks to consider, such as weather shocks, potential delays in the oil-related projects, tighter financial conditions, hostility measures, and the geopolitical conflicts in the region. For God and my country, I thank you. On our presentation, there is an annexure which I will give to Willis, our host, that talks about the key outcomes and results, but it's in the tabular form, so I cannot read it here. I thank you so much for listening to me, and may God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. Big applause for Honorable Wanyoto. I think she was trying to give us the outlook of the performance generally of the manifesto in line with the NDP3. And it is also important that you take note that our manifesto is aligned to NDP3. So thank you so much. Good enough media, we will avail you this copy, and you can have the pleasure to publish, but also facts as they are. Don't create your own statistics and stories. So, Honorable Ministers, allow me once again on behalf of the Presidency to thank you. You were our last group of the honorables that are presenting. We want to thank you, the members of the media, who have been able to participate once again in this activity and in this session in particular. We will again converge here around 2:30, and then we will discuss the closure business. Otherwise, thank you very much. Ugandans, wherever you are, this is how far we have gone in as far as the performance of our financial sector. This is how far we have gone as far as the performance of our energy, minerals, and oil and gas sector. The progress is there for us to see. So people should not come out and say there is nothing that the government is doing. We are progressing very well, and where there are programs within the various sectors and are calling on Ugandans to participate, please make sure you are engaged and play your role as a citizen, so that we are able, all of us, to make sure we deliver on this contract. Once again, thank you. So I want to officially declare this session closed. Thank you very much. Honorable Ministers and Chairperson, who has board member NPA, as a tradition, we always request for a photo opportunity, which we can have with you and then let you go. With your technical teams, please. Thank you. Yes.
Happening for the very first time in Uganda. This is big and this is huge. On Sunday, 28th of May 2023, all roads lead to Wankulukuku Stadium for a clash of the Titans. The Bakade UBC tussle it out with the Basukulu NTV in the broadcast derby. This is a free entry for all event and gets open as early as 10 a.m. in the morning. Don't miss a curtain raiser between Team Spice Diana up against Team Comedy Store led by Muhanji. There will be lots of activity on the day like bull roasting, free eye checkup, tug of war, UBC TV versus NTV, a broadcast derby like no other.
Brought to you by La Paire. Clear sight for everyone.